Hey everybody, welcome to Operation CMG. We are the podcast that covers comics, movies, and games. I'm one of your hosts, Dustin.
And I'm Jacob.
And I'm Leslie. And just to let you guys know what we're about, we're just a couple of dudes who likes comics, who like movies, and we like games. Sometimes we may like some other things, but they didn't make it into the name, so, hey, it is what it is. Today, on our first topic that we're going to talk about is going to be
the Joker trailer. I think we've got... How many we got so far? Two? Two full trailers?
Two full trailers, yeah.
Comes out October 4th?
I think I want to say October the 11th, but sometime in October, early October.
You know how I felt about this movie from...
I had to drag you to be on board. Like, oh my god, Scorsese as a director, Joaquin Phoenix as an actor, De Niro. Like, how could you not be excited? How could you not be instantly excited for this movie?
I was burned big time by Venom. Okay, because that movie was a disaster. Two, it was. How do you do a movie with you got the villain and no superhero?
Successfully. I mean, you may not like it, but I mean, it made the money.
I mean, so far it looks really great. I'm a huge fan of Joaquin Phoenix.
I love the face paint.
Face paint?
Yeah, I do like the face paint.
Yeah.
It's not traditional, like Joker traditional, but I like it. Like, just the amount of how many times he sees a clown and he just reenacts that. It's not his own type of face. He puts on his own clown mask.
Yeah.
It's
suit
nice.
too. It's like an almost orange color. Yeah. Yeah, it looks really good. I think it looks like very Killing Joke's vibe, because from the look of it looks like he's like trying to be like a failed comedian, and
it most definitely looks like he is taking a lot of hits in that movie. Well, at least in the trailer.
Especially in the alleyway.
Yeah, he takes a couple of L's, which would give us that moment of seeing, him on his darkest, lowest day.
But it also makes you kind of feel like that, when you're reading the comics and you don't really get that other side of Joker where you don't know, a lot of where he came from, and you don't feel bad for that certain type of character. Like, a lot of supervillains, you can kind of adjust to be like, okay, I see why he turned bad. Mm-hmm. But then, you don't really get that with Joker. So, Heath Ledger Joker, he just showed up as Joker. Whereas this, it talks about one bad day. And you get to get that, kind of, I feel for that. I feel really bad for him, but he's a bad guy. That kind of feeling. I
get it, but being a super Batman fan that I am, that's the Joker. There's no...
Oh, yeah.
Besides the Killing Joke, that novel, that's his mystery. Is we don't know where he came from, we don't know who he is.
Yeah, I agree too.
You know what I'm saying? There's just this massive mystery of this person that's 100% ultimate evil.
Well, I think that's kind of goes into the whole thing, it not being canon thing. True. So it's even if you don't like this origin story of the Joker, you can still, you can say, okay, well, it's not real, it's not the real thing, so, it's whatever.
So, I don't know. I'm super excited for it. I think they, you remember a while ago when we saw that speculation about the 66 Batmobile was on set? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know what that's about. I think one of the other things that I've heard that in the second trailer, he's confronting Thomas Wayne was supposed to be. I think one of the big things was he was rumored to be a Wayne kid that maybe got shipped off or put in some kind of orphanage.
So the Joker?
Yeah, the Arthur Fleck character.
Again, this is not canon, so I personally would like that. Just seeing somewhere down the line, the Joker and Batman were long lost brothers, or maybe.
And he's the feels betrayed by Bruce, so he kills the parents, and there's this way deeper motive to.
And then almost like the Telltale games too, right? In the Batman Telltale game where you meet him and he wants to become your friend as Bruce.
Yeah,
that kind of setting.
Yeah, you can either burn him and he becomes the villain, or you can be some kind of weird sidekick.
Yeah, sidekick was crazy.
See, it's I that is one of the things where I'm hopeful for this non-canon. Oh, original of an idea movie, because you can take something that we already know and you can turn it into something new. You can give us something we've never seen before. You could give us
a different story.
You can give us some new Batman that's not written in comics.
Yeah. It would be nice if this is successful, which it looks like it's going to be, like, open up more avenues to just do more movies of, like, what if movies. Like, what if Batman was a girl? What if it was Barbara Wayne? And
Like a
new avenues for movie besides, like, okay, we're gonna do a Superman movie, we're gonna follow this comic line, and this is the movie.
This would totally be an amazing point for them to, like, branch off and to start doing, like, Elseworld type movies, where it's just any kind of random concept you want.
Like different origin stories, like, as well. Like, you don't have that same, like, every Batman movie that came out, it was always the same comic beginning, where it was always parents died in the alley, became Batman. It's a different type of, like you were talking about, them being friends and him burning him or something like that, and that's why he pissed off at Bruce. But the reason why Bruce becomes Batman may be a different story because of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And in turn, he could be a completely different Batman.
Which I would love to see on the big screen. I think it'd be cool.
I would love for them to do things like that and to experiment with, like, little different fallacies.
Branch out on different avenues.
Yeah, just like, because, okay, I think there's a lot of potential for there to be, like, a comical Batman. Like, with how dark he is, and he gets so close to being, like, so funny with his one-liners, and then it's just like you turn around, he's gone, and it's just like, oh, damn you, Batman. Like think of if Batman had a J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh, if he was like some kind of Spider-Man personality, he was just constantly like, got a quick, like, you know, I save a city, you're welcome, bitch, and then you turn around, he's gone.
Mm-hmm. And then it's just like, can you believe this man is Batman? What is he doing? Fucking saving buildings, but like, well, saving people, but he fucking ruined the bank.
So, I don't know.
Almost like that accidental, like, Jack Sparrow character, where, like, he does one thing right, but then a horrible thing comes out of it, and just only sees the good. But I think it'd be really cool to have the Elseworlds stories. It'd be really, really fun to see that, especially on the big screen. Like, you see it in, like comic books and, like, in, like, the animated movies, but not live action.
Yeah.
Do you think if they were to start doing them, I mean, obviously, you know, there's a bunch of comics, a plethora of comics that they could choose from. Do you think eventually we would get to the point to where we do see 100% like new things?
New things like new villains? Or like...
Well, I mean, seeing new concepts in general. Like, I mean, because it's like, you know, like the Red Sun Superman. It's like, you know, obviously he was born in, like, you know...
Yeah, the Soviet.
Yeah, the Soviet Union. And it's like, that's already an established comic. Like, do you think that they could, after a while, they would start to come up with, like, just completely new, fresh ideas, like this Joker movie?
Oh, okay.
As far as we see.
So not exactly new heroes and new villains, but new origin stories?
Completely new
concept. You could throw in a new hero in there if you want.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to see.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just like, I don't know, like Clark Kent being, like, when he comes to Earth, he actually gets stopped on, he doesn't go to, like, Martha and Jonathan, he does go to, like, Thomas and Martha. Like,
ooh.
He grows up like that Superman character grew up in that Batman origin story.
That's already a thing.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it was... What was the name of the comic?
It's called Speeding Bullet.
I think
it's called,
and
it's literally what you just said.
Okay, I'm not going to read Speeding Bullet, that doesn't catch my eye.
I mean, that's what I'm just saying. But, I mean, like, something, I don't know, just, who knows, like, Wally West becomes...
Batman.
Sure. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
West
There's something,
Batman.
I mean, at this point in age, we've had, it's like 80 years we've been into comics, so it's, like, really hard to come up with, like, fresh ideas. But...
yeah.
So, but this movie is, like, is the pushing ground to...
Newer ideas,
newer stuff,
fresher.
Not just, okay, we're going to redo The Dark Knight Returns for the 4th time. Let's get Batman in here, and he retires, and he does this, and now he's back again, but he's not as good as he used to be, but he's He triumphs because he's Batman. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. But, cool. Well, I think the next thing we got going on, Suicide Squad 2 cast.
Mm-hmm.
The logo, I don't think it incorporates 2. I think it's just Suicide Squad.
No, it is
the
Suicide Squad.
It's got like a
It's a reboot, is what
90s, kind of 90s font to it.
Is
Kind of looking thing.
Kind of like James Sanfran said on Twitter that it wasn't. They don't call it the Suicide Squad 2. They call it the Suicide Squad because they were looking at it as a reboot and that everybody should have fun watching it.
Can you do that? Like, can you reboot?
Can you do that with the same Harley Quinn and some of the same characters?
I think it's a super soft reboot.
Oh, so we're
because
it's
it's
the future
I can see
passing.
that.
Yeah. It's definitely in the same. It's not a reboot. It's not a total reboot in the sense like it's in another different universe. Whatever.
So we just hit the reset button.
Yeah, it's just like,
yeah.
you remember what you knew? Yeah, it's kind of the same thing, but this is what we got going on now.
Do you think it's just gonna be one of the reboots where it's just like it happened, but they don't talk about it in the movie, or are they gonna come up with like a backstory of a reason why it's not the same?
Well, yes and no, because I did see there was some leaked footage or photos rather from the set, and it had like Harley Quinn throwing off like Joker's clothes out of their house. Yeah, like I think the premise of it is like Joker and Harley Quinn are definitely breaking up, and then that's a big emphasis.
He died in the Suicide Squad, right?
No,
Mm-hmm.
he saved her at the end.
Yeah, he saved them. Didn't the plane crash?
The plane? What are you talking about?
The plane that they took off in Suicide Squad when they were in that plane and she fell off on the rooftop.
That was like in the third act.
Yeah,
Was
like
it?
no, they came back
It's been
after
a
that.
very long time since I watched that movie. Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My bad.
It's funny because I remember that scene you're talking about. I was like, isn't there like 30 minutes
yeah,
Felt
more?
like the ending for me.
But then they've been playing that new Birds of Prey teaser in front of It Chapter 2, and it's like Harley takes this big mallet and swings the It balloons, and she's like, I'm so tired of fucking clowns.
Ooh.
So that's what I'm saying. It's a minor soft reboot because it's like Will Smith is just like he's just not there, and we're just not talking about it. It's just this is the new Suicide Squad, and boom, here you go.
So do you think it's just because Will Smith's not gonna be there, it's not gonna have a death shot,
Probably not.
or he just left and went on a contract or something?
I don't know.
Probably.
You can't do that. I mean, it's like with all the other people they're bringing in. It's like I know it's going to be hard to like recast Will Smith or like to get a new Deadshot, especially after a one movie type thing. But like with all these people, you're telling me like not one of them could be a Deadshot-esque.
I'd love to see Idris Elba as a Deadshot.
I didn't want to put that on him, but like I would love that.
Somebody had to say it.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, you can't.
That's how me and you were saying earlier. Before we even started, we were talking about how like he's too busy, like for me to even like consider him doing something else.
Right. So
like,
it's
he was
like,
in the Fast and Furious, and then
and so it's like, yeah. I mean,
he's going to
this
so
is
many
coming
new
out,
things,
like,
especially in the past 2 years. He's done so many things that you're like, he's just too busy for me. You don't appreciate. It's not that I don't appreciate it.
I mean,
not as much.
He's in the movie, so it's like
right.
Yeah,
but think about it.
But then they said he was playing
I
a
guess-
totally new character.
Think about
He's
how
not
low.
doing Deadshot, right?
Think about how low on like the on the thing that he is. Like he's not going to be like one of the Suicide Squad. He's probably going to have like a little cameo first 20 minutes. He's going to be like
He's going to be Slipknot that goes on and just dies
yeah,
in the movie.
yeah.
I don't know. So, but we got the cast. So we got I'm gonna butcher some of these names. David Bass McElhenney, John Cena, Jai Courtney's returning. That's Captain Boomerang. Joaquin Costco. Is that the guy who? Is that Diablo?
That may be.
Is that him?
That may be.
Ooh,
Nathan-
but didn't Diablo die?
He didn't blow up at the end. I don't know if he died. Did they say he died? I can't remember.
I mean, he blew up.
But I mean,
Exploded, but I mean, he's fire.
number one rule of comics. Okay, no one ever dies in comics.
I don't know, man. Like,
except Uncle Ben.
It's a good.
okay, so I should just say Game of Thrones rules, unless we see you die.
We got Nathan Fillion. Big rumor that I saw the other day is that he might be Green Lantern. That's a I don't know why.
Really?
But
That actually would work because you could have.
He just looks like Hal Jordan. Like you can picture. It's like saying that he's Nathan Drake.
everyone that's cast, every 6'4" slim good looking white guy
chiseled jaw
with brown hair. They're like, that's how Jordan.
Jawline, the cheekbones make the.
I mean, but what else do you need?
Nothing.
So can you blame him?
No. So we got Joel Kinnaman, who was Rick Flag. Mei Ling, C.M.G. is her last name. Flua Borg. Sean Gunn's in the movie.
In the movie.
Yeah. Juan Diego Atado. Storm Reed, Pete Davidson, Taika Waititi. So we got 2 directors in this movie.
That still baffles me that he's in this.
I know, he's so... so now we got 3 Marvel directors.
3? Yeah.
That are... One is
directing,
and then we have 2 Marvel directors that are playing characters.
They is clowning.
So,
they're probably like a government
to finish it off, Alice Brega, Steve Agee, Tainashi Kaji, I'm butchering these, Danielle Meckler, Pierre Capaldi, there you go, Julio Ruiz, Jennifer Holland, Viola Davis, Idris Elba, Margot Robbie, and Michael Rooker. That one's the...
Michael Rooker is the hanger?
That's the big one for me. So
you mean like a hanger, like that's the big one for you, like it's a bad thing for you, or it's like a fish hook that got you?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for that.
I like Michael Rooker.
This is all I have to say. I really... Like, they got Viola Davis again. I really need them to do a better job with Walker in this movie.
Waller,
yeah.
Waller, Walker, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Because it's like they...
You feel like she's not...
Too chill for you?
It's just like, for me, it's just like she was an ass, but it was just like, usually she's an ass for like a legitimate reason.
Okay, I gotcha.
And it's just like this, it's
she's like the woman Batman.
Yeah, she's
just kind of an
she's
ass
over preparing and all of this, but
constantly think the world's gonna end. So...
But yeah, I just hope they do good with her. I hope they do good with John Cena, because
yeah, go ahead.
This dude has not done a role that I've not loved.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. Like,
what is it? Blockers?
Blockers was
oh my
really
god.
Good. It was really good. Did you ever watch Blockers?
No, I've seen that movie.
You need to watch that movie.
Yeah, but
really
I mean, I don't know. So they're...
The Michael Rooker still gets me. Like,
you got to think, we got James Gunn, who did 2 Guardians movies, which were heavily CGI.
Mm-hmm.
They looked phenomenal. Mm-hmm. So, like, what are we gonna get out of this?
What are we gonna get? We're gonna get a DC movie that we can respect.
I hope so. But I mean, like, you gotta think, like, you think John Cena is John Cena, is his face too big to be like King Shark? I think is he? No. I mean, in the retrospect of like, is he too popular to not have a role where like you have to? You know what I'm saying?
You have to use his face, and
you have to see John Cena.
Okay.
Like, is John Cena too big to be like Bradley Cooper and do just the voice of Rocket?
I think John Cena, he's strong and stable enough to where he could. I mean, you got to think Bradley Cooper really wasn't that He wasn't like
hyped
on
up.
That.
He wasn't hyped up until there was the movie where he sings with Lady Gaga.
That was after. So
that was way after.
I mean,
it was way after. Galaxy. But like
comedy movies,
he had like the Silver Lining Playbook and all that kind of stuff like that. But he's never really done 18, and then
yeah,
like you know who he is. But like at the same time, John Cena's popular for the athlete he is. But a lot of movies that he's in, you may not even know he was in there until you actually watch the movie. Like you don't hear about him being in a movie.
Yeah, true.
It's not on the main. Like we were more happy about Michael Rooker, and then we seen John Cena. We just passed right over that.
Yeah, John Cena was quite like up on the front of the list.
Yeah,
so that means he's going to be.
But like Michael Rooker, he was young though, so he's like already done a role where like he's heavily.
I feel like we should talk about that because I know Disney does not mess with people who are messy like that. Like if you're over here and you do our Marvel movies, you are over here. You do a DC, no. That is not cool. And for the simple fact that they got him doing it, I wonder what the future of that means. Like
that's for Marvel professional, you know, people that work in the cinema industry that they got over here.
how do you think Disney feels about that? I mean, it's like, we fired you for this movie, and then you go to the competition. Not only are you going to the competition, but you're going to the competition, you're bringing our people with you, and you're reviving one of the worst worst movies they have.
Scared is what they are.
Scared?
Because,
Scared.
I mean, it was in the same week, wasn't it? It was like James Gunn, he's doing Suicide Squad. Boom. And then it was like, that was like, maybe hypothetically Monday. And then it was like Friday, it was like...
Oh, he's rehired.
Disney's rehired, and he's doing Guardians 3. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm excited for that movie. I'm excited. I'm a big fan of the Suicide Squad in general. I mean, they're I think, what was it? I think it was in 2016 they came out with a big... It's a miniseries. I think it was like 6 or 7 issues, and it was Justice League versus Suicide Squad.
Oh, I think you put me on that.
Oh, man, it was so good.
You put me on Suicide Squad, because I think when the first movie came out, I didn't know shit about it. And then you put me on Suicide Squad, and, like, I loved it. Like, I loved Deadshot. I fell in love with Deadshot a lot more. Like, I really wish he would have had a lot more solo comics, to be honest.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think we gotta... Because, I mean, I don't think that the guy who does Killer Croc, I don't think he's on here. So
right, but that's what you said. Like, you can just CGI something.
Well, I mean, but like, with it being like they're still doing the same thing, that's why I'm pretty sure we're not going to see the same characters.
So,
like,
Margot
they're not
Robbie
gonna.
and
Yeah, well, I mean, Margot Robbie's in there, but I'm saying like
yeah.
we're not gonna like. So Will Smith's not in this movie. Deadshot's not in this movie. We're gonna replace a Suicide Squad member with another DC Comics character. So like,
yeah, that was like people with Idris Elba being like, oh, he may come back to play Deadshot, and then it might be a reboot, and he's a whole different character. Like, you replace Deadshot with whatever character Idris Elba's going to play.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's a soft reboot, because they're just like, whoever's not doing this movie, your character's not in this movie, and that's why we have a list of I'm not going to count that, like 15, 20 people. 15 to 12 people. So I mean, Justin?
Actually, DC kind of does this. Green Lantern wasn't in the Justice League because they don't like using other characters, especially if they have bad reputations or really good reputations. They don't like to reuse characters. They like to write them out.
Yeah.
Just
That's a very good point.
Banish them. So they brought in Aquaman, which is, in most people's view, lower level.
Don't say it.
Lower level.
He is a C class. He's a B.
So badass.
And they're like, okay, how can we bring in a C-level superhero and replace the Green Lantern? And they did.
See, if you got Jason Momoa.
Listen. Don't shit on Aquaman. That's a founding member of the Justice League. Original 7.
You want to know why he's an original member? Because we needed someone to watch the ocean.
Listen, okay, Zack Snyder said that he was going to have, I think, Kilgore and another Green Lantern like show up at the end of Justice League and like wake Bruce up at the middle of the night or something. So they didn't just completely write off Green Lantern and replace him with Aquaman. I think there was another story going, and they... Aquaman is a staple of the DC franchise, okay? Don't shit on my boy, Arthur. No. I literally just looked at the list, but I would have liked to see if they would have brought that guy in who does Black Manta.
Did you kill a croc or?
No, to be Black Manta, like in Suicide movie. That'd be cool. Because I don't know who they're going to have in here. Because, I mean, we had...
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying?
We don't even have a plot yet, do we? They haven't given us a plot of like what they're doing or anything. It's just the cast has been released.
Because I mean, realistically, the end of the first one, it was Harley was saved by the Joker at the end, and that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a movie like this. I think it has enough buzz that as long as they put a little bit of thought into the plot.
I agree. Yeah. Like you said, to be a super soft reboot. Like, it doesn't matter if it was a reboot or not for some people. Like, to me, the storyline's going to be the best. So, like, if they fuck up anything in the storyline, I don't care if it's a soft reboot or not. I just not want to like the movie.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they need to just put a little bit of thought into that plot. Make sure it's...
Oh, yeah.
The last one.
Absolutely.
The what?
The last one? Did you think the plot was bad?
Dude, you kidding me?
I mean, it's like, see, the thing I have about the last one, I guess the first one, is that it makes sense if you know the character of Waller. But the movie does not do a good job of showing you how batshit crazy she is. So it comes off as just like, the fuck is she doing? Why is she mad? She started all this. And it's just like, well, yeah, I know that's her MO. She generally starts a lot of her own conflicts, but...
That was like Telltale Games. She was predicted, in my opinion, she was predicted really well in the Telltale Games. She was just a dick in the Telltale games.
Because she's got her own secret agenda.
Yeah.
And she constantly... She's, I guess we could say, a Batman... Not a villain, but a Batman character. Like she's always like she's either in like the Suicide Squad titles or she's in Batman, and it's always this alternate motive that conflicts with what Bruce is doing.
She is 100% a villain because she has I won't say she's never helped out, but like very rarely it's like, oh my god, you're here, yay, like.
I still feel like supervillains are not. You're holding humans hostage to do your own dirty work for you still. So you're still a terrible fucking person.
Well, I'd
say villain all the way.
Hey, listen, if you were in prison for the rest of your life, not a chance in hell you ever get out, and some crazy woman is like, hey, I'm going to put you in a fucking blue rubber type suit, I'm going to give you a gun, and you're going to go on these death missions for me, and if you survive, you might get out. I might let you out in 50 years.
Just because I'm dumb enough or smart enough, in your opinion, to take that deal, she's still a terrible fucking person.
Yeah, that does not change that she is the villain
she's still
of the story.
This still means that she's the villain. It doesn't matter if they say yes or no. She's still a villain for asking to be a terrible fucking person.
Okay.
It is what it is. Moral of the story, you gotta do more than that. She can't just be crazy.
Can't just be bad for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Especially with somebody who has her own agenda all the time. She can't be bad for no reason.
Yeah, see,
just to have a reason.
Just let us know. Like, if they would have told us, like, from the very beginning, that, what was it? The person who they're trying to go pick up, if they would have let us know that was her, oh my god, that would have been such a different movie. It's just like, yo, all these people are dying.
But I think they went with the movie concept of, like, they're trying to go for a shock factor. And still be her.
I think
but then, like, all of us who know
a
shock factor and the...
Oh my god, the VIP was the main villain the whole time. And it kind of does make her the villain.
I thought we already established.
Yeah, we had 2/3.
She's already a villain.
I guess okay, that's my way of saying, I guess I agree.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
But I mean, the main mission of the Suicide Squad, they do, like, the military's dirty work. Like, they do, the most dangerous missions.
I mean, okay, but yeah, you know that, but this is the first movie. This is jumping out the gate. This is what we see. It doesn't seem like that. It just seems...
I mean, we do gotta... Movies are not made for, like, just us, like, straight up geeky
They're made
dudes.
for
everybody.
Audience.
So when they try to go for that shock factor, I'm sure there was somebody who's never heard of Suicide Squad before that watched that movie and was like...
They were like, hey,
God.
the Joker's in this movie. I'm gonna buy a ticket. And I'm like, who the hell is this people?
Why isn't there a lot of Jokers?
That was like Slipknot. I didn't know who Slipknot was. And then, like, the moment he died, I wasn't like... Somebody like you would have been like, that's totally Slipknot. He done that. Me, I was just like, well, damn, he didn't last very long at all. Like...
Would you be able to guess whose villain he is?
Slipknot?
Flash.
Yeah.
Is he a rogue?
What's your guess?
I'm gonna say Flash.
A Wonder Woman villain.
He's a Wonder Woman villain?
Really?
Yes.
Diana cannot beat him.
Yeah.
Like that's that should be a one-time ass whoop, and he's like, "Yo, I'm finna go fuck with Aquaman." So I have to go.
But I'm about to put plastic in the ocean.
Or he's filling the Gulf.
I'm never gonna catch my ass on my rope. So,
but
her rope's more badass. If I just walk away, maybe people won't realize that. You know, I just got my ass kicked by her.
Well.
But yeah, that's Suicide Squad 2. Well, my bad. The Suicide Squad.
I think it's got a release date of
2021. Yeah.
So
2 more years.
We'll see. What do we got coming out this year? Is what? Just Joker? That's it. Just the DC realm is just Joker movies.
I would say DC and Marvel. I think we're done for the rest of the year after Joker.
Yeah. It's really slowing down.
But luckily, we had a lot of video games that are coming out to keep us.
Great segue.
Speaking of great video games, it is today,
biggest Borderlands fan.
September 16th. So that means 3 days ago, Borderlands 3 came out and graced us with its awesomeness.
Yep.
Your thoughts?
I just want to say my first thought is I bought that game on release day at midnight, downloaded it, tried it out for 15 minutes, felt bad because I was supposed to play it with him. Mm-hmm. 2 whole days go by, we never touched it. We've been playing the Call of Duty beta. And then he goes to bed last night after telling me we were going to sit up and play it. Goes to bed. I'm like, I really just want to play this damn game. Mm-hmm. Like, I almost felt really bad because I was like, I'm going to fucking play it anyway. then I didn't, and we woke up and played like 3 hours this morning before we came here. So.
Okay, so I have never played a Borderlands game besides this one. So, before it came out, remember I told you like 2 weeks ago I was super bored, so I bought that game Rage 2. And I told you it was like a Borderlands themed type of game.
It was pretty fun.
And then I got Borderlands, and I'm just like, yeah, fuck Rage 2.
Fuck Rage. Yeah. I mean, it was a good placeholder for a little bit. I didn't even beat it though. Did you beat it?
No, I mean
I played it for like maybe 2 days, and then in the middle of it, just stopped playing it for some reason. And then Borderlands 3 came out, and I tried out 15 minutes, and immediately deleted it. I deleted Rage 2. I was like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it anymore.
The art style.
You're done here. Leave.
Is like Telltale Games-esque.
Mm-hmm.
It's way more
defined.
It's way more like cartoon.
That is the best way to put it, because it does look a little bit more defined than the older games, but saying like the Telltale, that is 100%.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful game. It's
it's a beautiful game for not being. It's not your average like blockbuster game that looks so real and like you people are just like, my God, look at the water in this game. It looks real.
That is part of the charm. The cell shaded, the cartoony look.
It gives me that comic book look to it.
It does,
like,
but it looks so good. Mm-hmm. Like I said, never played before, but I've never really been the biggest fan of like looter shooter type games. Like I'm not a fan of Destiny.
I gave this man a free code from Destiny when I worked at GameStop, and he played it for probably a day, and then shit on it and deleted it. So I was playing it by myself with our clan.
The only other thing I played was the Division games. They're technically looter shooters.
The Division games get so out of hand for me. I can't stay along to the story, and I played them with you, and I told you plenty of times. You're like, you want to play Destiny 2? And I'm like, not really. Like I could play it for 5 hours straight, get off, and then go to bed, wake up, play with you again, and then have no idea what the fuck we just did that past 5 hours the night before, because it goes so off topic for me. It doesn't. I can't get the story. I don't know what the hell is going on.
I think the Borderlands, just the third one's the one I played, but like the story is very engaging.
Oh yeah.
And it's very. There was a mission on there. We were playing, and it was like something to do with those skag dogs, and the objective of the mission was find the big suck. Yeah. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, what is this?
It's just, we still haven't finished that one though. Right?
It's like it's so like parody. Like when you first start it and you first making your character, and then you have to do it's like the original Windows pops up, and it's like you have to do a user agreement. And I was like, this is
the Claptrap said something along the lines of like, come on, just hurry up, hit accept. Nobody ever reads those. And I was like, I love Claptrap already. Like, he's amazing.
The reason why I love it is because it is super aware. Like, it is aware of pop culture. It's aware of, like, memes. And it's just like, they know, if we put this in here, someone's going to get this
And reference. It's not like old memes, like when Black Panther came out. It was
Which
like,
is crazy
they did
considering
they did the what are those shoes meme. It was like 2 years. This is like... today, like I still I can scroll on Reddit and find like big suck memes. Like,
but my thing is like it took how many years to make this game? As I said, 3 or 4.
Oh, I don't know how long
I know it took years. I know that, but I don't want to say that because it's a broad spectrum. But I know that my point is that it takes so long to make a game, and for you to still have relevant memes that are out as fast as memes go out the window, from how fast they get there, to still have relevant memes, and I genuinely have fun with it, and I'm like, well, that's a stupid ass joke. Like, you can ask him, I was laughing my ass off pretty much the whole time we were playing it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And it doesn't, like, the memes that are there are not, like, super old to the point where you're like, That's stupid. Like, you laugh at it. Like, you're going to find a gun called the Big Suck. Like, but my first impression, I'm loving the game. I'm absolutely loving it. For him to play a looter shooter is, he's got to love it, to be honest with you.
It's like I said, my biggest I guess the way I can tell if I'm really gonna enjoy a game is like I play it and then I stop playing and then in my head like how bad, like I just think like, oh man, I don't want to go to work today. I just want to hop back on Borderlands 3. Like that's why I really want to.
I mean, I agree. Yeah, Rage, like you said, the Rage is supposed to be like a placeholder till all the new games came out, and like the moment something else came out, I dropped it. I didn't fucking think about it again.
Yeah.
Until you said Rage 2, and it kind of just put a bad taste.
So I watched like a YouTube video on like the first one.
Yeah, I think I watched like a 20-minute recap.
Like I know the first one that they go and you find the vault and it's a monster in there.
The Destroyer, yeah.
Yeah, so like, can you give the people like us that don't know a recap from like
so the first
1 to 3.
The first one was super simple. It introduced like, oh, you're a vault hunter and you're just looking for the vault. That's all you're doing. You're just looking for the vault. You get the 3-4 pieces of the compass or the key, and then you open the vault. Bam. Inside it, they generally say it's like a cache of weapons and riches, but generally in the first one, it was the monster the Destroyer. And in the second one, there's a villain, Handsome Jack. Hands down, the best villain there is. Like, okay, like the what are the Calypso twins? Like, you know how they're like, you've come across them, yeah?
Yeah. We just got to the mission where there was the holograms of them inside the cave. Mm-hmm. That was them. That's the main villains, and that one is the Calypso twins.
I was getting cash while they were talking. So
he was looting. It's like a meme. You just play looter shooters once and don't pay attention to shit.
I'm literally like going around like every time I see the little green glow, I'm like, there's cash in there, I gotta get it. Jacob's like, hey, look at this, and I'm like, what? And my character is like in the middle of their feet, and I was like, I look up and I'm like, oh,
already. I guarantee you played a total of 3 hours today, and I can tell you that most of that time was him showing me all the cool guns that he got. Me showing him the cool guns, but 90% of the time, when he's like, hey man, look at my gun, I turn around and look at it like, that's pretty fucking badass. Mm-hmm. Whenever I say that, I'm waiting like 5-10 minutes because I look over and he's got his little like thing open doing his skills or like moving shit. Or I just see him doing something like, what are you doing? He doesn't answer me, and all of a sudden you see like, gun. And I'm like, why are you holding so many guns? And he's like,
that backpack only has 16 items.
See, for you to know that in 3 hours.
Sell them.
You like looter shooters.
You will find a better gun. You will find.
I always had that problem at looter shooters. For Destiny, I used Nameless Midnight in Destiny 2 for the longest time because I was like, I'm never gonna find a scout rifle that's this good. And then it turns out you didn't. For a very long time, it was the best scout rifle.
My biggest thing is like the visual, like the aesthetic of how a gun looks. Like I'll find one that's like, this one looks really cool. It's got a laser attachment on it. Like, do I really want to give this one up for one that's got better stats? I don't know. Like,
see, I mean, I'm the same way. I will not pick up a gun in any looter shooter if it looks ugly.
So, but I mean,
I can't do it.
Totally sidebar.
Yeah, sorry.
But Handsome Jack and the Handsome Jack,
twins. Handsome Jack is just so much a more. I can't say that because I haven't beat the game, but just like from what I see. Handsome Jack was so much more satisfying. He actually interacted with you, and like, you know, he's constantly calling your character, saying like, you know, just straight shit talking you. And Borderlands 2, I would highly recommend once you beat this, go back to it, just because Borderlands 2 came out in like 2012, and they came out with a free DLC this July. Like,
really.
Yeah, that was the bridge between Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3. Which they gave it away for free. Fucking awesome. But, you know, you just open you open the vault, you find out his daughter is a siren, you kill her, so now he's all crazy because you killed his daughter, and he takes Lilith, uses her siren powers to open the vault, yada yada yada. Inside that vault is the warrior. You beat that. Yay. You find out there's like, I think like 5 or 6 more vaults, but they're on other planets. Mm-hmm. And that's where this one comes in, because it's like, oh, there are other vaults on other planets. Let's go open them. Which...
Room for expansion.
But it's just like, it makes no sense because it's just like in all the vaults we've had so far, there's always been a monster inside of it that you kill.
Yeah.
And you find out about more vaults.
And now in this one, you're hunting down multiple vaults?
Yeah.
Is that what
yeah, and you know what? I
multiple demons.
I understand that is the plot, and I do not care. I do not care that whatever I find in this vault will try to kill me.
We ran across, what was it? I think the crazy thing that happened this morning, we ran across one of those little guys.
Tinks.
And they were loot tinks. And bro, and I shot it. I was like, why is this dude running around? Like, you ran right by him, and I'm like, why is he like running around the back? Why is he glowing? I hit him. Shit started flying out. I was like, Dustin, come back right now. I was like, come back right now. He's like, why? We kill him, and shit drops.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
like,
we pick up what
gold.
we want. Just
the money.
Money was come out. He goes to walk away. He's changing guns or whatever, probably in his fucking skill tree again. And I'm walking like, hey, the backpack is still here. And he's like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah. And I open it. And then
he goes,
I was
come back
out,
quick,
bro.
there's guns everywhere. And I was like,
shit just opens up everywhere. And there's like, I go, knowing how he is with like looter shooters, I was like, oh, like we have it set where like, I don't know if it's a game setting you can change, but we have it set where he sees different loot than I do. Mm-hmm. So we can't get each other shit, but we can still trade. So like, all the guns flop out. I have no idea what's on his screen. I got like 3 purple guns. I was like, oh, dude, this assault rifle's purple. He's like, good for fucking you. What do you want me to say?
Yeah, I got like a green
so
pistol.
mad that somebody got something better than he did. It was hilarious.
I mean, that's the name of the game, baby.
I got it. I got my laser attachment on my gun.
Okay.
He's like, it made me great. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Okay, but that is one thing that I did want to bring up about this game is that in the past there's just been like, you know, marauders, psychos, and just little things like that. This game gives you so much of a variety of like villains, enemies, whatever. Enemies. And I really do like that because, like, you know, I've played all of them, and for the simple fact of, like, you know, going through it, it's like you got people. Well, first of all, you have like male and female versions of the enemies. Mm-hmm. I love that. But the simple fact of you got some that's just like
the little midget guys. What are they called?
They're called Tinks. They're called Tinks in this game because they were called midgets in the.
There's just controversy over it. They just changed it to Tinks.
I mean, I guess it was just like, you know.
But it's like, okay, we can't be that fucking rude. Like, we're still Borderlands, but we're not that bad.
Why not just change it?
We're still the same old gearbox, but we're not gonna be that fucking bad.
Hey, you're still shooting a small person in the head.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, when I first, I was like, is that a child holding a gun?
He's like, do I have to kill a child?
No, see, if you were play the other ones, you would think that because they would come out. Oh my god! Yeah, like, that's how they would talk. Man. Like.
Straight up killing kids in this game.
He was like, why is our kid here? And I was like, immediately, I was like, he's gonna have a real big fucking problem. And I was like, and then I got closer and like we were taking a bounty on one of them, and I was like, that's a grown ass man. I was like, okay, I don't feel bad anymore. Fuck that guy.
Blow his head off with a shotgun.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Oh,
who's your character that you play? That's one thing I wanted to ask you.
Okay, see, ever since the first one, I've always started out as a siren as my first character.
Respect.
I mean, just because the sirens are the only ones who have like some sort of lore and type of the actual game.
Yeah, and you're not just a vault hunter. You know, you have like a backstory behind being a siren.
Yeah, I mean,
and it gives more story to it.
Well, all the characters, especially Zane, I would say Zane has the most backstory just because I don't know if it was 2 of his brothers, but you killed most definitely one of his brothers and like another family member.
Are these new characters?
Yeah.
So like, but
you play I mean, they kind of make them like class
types,
same.
but the character, like I play as Zane, so it's like, is he in the other games?
No, but again, like you Captain, because he's Zane Flint. Like Captain Flint, you kill him in the second game.
Oh, okay.
And Baron Flint, you kill him in the first game.
So this is supposed to be Zane Flint, like a different brother?
Mm-hmm.
So they have a backstory, but they're not in other games.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's one of the little things to add on to the new character.
Okay. He plays as Zane, I play as Amara. I love my power. I'm just like somebody's like fucking me with a lady with a rocket launcher, just sitting in there chilling, and we go to get back in the car after taking out a bounty in this whole tower. And I turn around and she's like, hit me. And every time she hit me, I would like try to sprint away and try to reload. And then I would always cancel out my reload by running. And I was like, dude, fuck this. Turn around and just fucking shot it out. and he's just standing right there, goes right by him, and he's like, she fucking obliterated her for no fucking reason. You could just shot her, and I was like, nope, I'm a siren. That's what I do.
So you did the one where she like projects herself.
Not that one. I did the one where she does like the giant circle with the hands that like, shoots out.
Oh, okay.
I tried to slam out like when I played it for the 15 minutes. I did try all 3 of them. I leveled up enough to try all 3 where I wanted.
He got mad at me because, you know, Zane has the specific ability to have 2 abilities that takes over a grenade slot.
I was pissed.
I was like, oh, look, I could have 2 abilities to take over a grenade slot. He's like, how you do that? And I was like,
it's only him.
It's only Zane. And he's just like, fuck you.
Well, but
I got a purple gun.
I don't know, man. It's like I think it all actually balances out, just because it's like with my siren abilities, again, like the sirens are like they have an in-universe type thing, but I'd be going ham, and especially like with each different one, I've been able to actually utilize it. Like there's been moments where it's like, okay, I do need to switch and have the fist. Okay, now I need to actually rock with my slam.
I think that's what I was gonna try to do is like respec some of it where I have at least the top 2 abilities I want to be able to use, like the slam and probably the projectile, but like have just those 2 and just put whatever I want into wherever I want and then switch between both of them.
Yeah, actually, that's one thing I like is that you don't need like a skill point. It's like, okay, you get 1 skill point to get an action skill, and once you use it, you can switch it to any one that you have unlocked, and I love.
Oh, I didn't know that.
What?
So on the blue skill tree,
so
whatever skill you get, you can move that to the other yellow.
I mean, okay, you know how
the
you
ones
have
on the sides, right?
The ones on the sides.
Yeah, the augments. Yeah, but
so I can equip something from here and still have from the projectile and still have the slam.
Yeah, but it's like you have to unlock like 10 things first. Like
once you unlock that, you can put it on you, and then you can go to another skill tree and like use that actual ability.
So if I wanted to use a slam, I can still use the speed reload from the from the blue tree. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. That's actually really cool.
2 things.
So cool.
2 things that I really like about this game. One is that it really adds to like how it really keeps you going like straight fun the whole time, because it's like normally games when you have like a special ability, like
you get tired of it.
No, it's just like you're always in the back of your mind. You're like, I need to save it. I need to save it. I need to save it because like
I thought it was gonna be like alt and be like like super high cooldown.
Yeah, like there's gonna be a moment where like I'm gonna need it, and then it's like, oh, I could use it right here. Now the enemies are gone.
Well, but, I mean, like in this you played Destiny for like 5 minutes, so you were like, oh, bro, like my alt is not gonna come back for a while. Like that's how I felt. Yeah. I was like, oh, bro, I'm not gonna use it, or do I have to save it? Like.
Yeah, but
just like 40 seconds.
Yeah, it's like, oh, and I got 2, and I'm like, boom, boom, I'll use both of them, and then when the gunfight's over,
fucking drone going around,
yeah, and
fucking
like,
2
it's
copies
cool. And then by the time I get to the next wave,
run away.
Yeah, and then I get the next wave of enemies. I'm like, I got both my abilities are ready to go.
Okay,
I do like that fact. It's like an ability. It's not an ultimate, even though it is, but it's ability, and the cooldown way faster.
Yeah.
So you from the beginning you can go ahead and switch from the 2. Like you can from the start you can already have 2 action skills. See, I thought there had to be like a certain point where you go down and eventually.
Well, for Zane's ability.
Yeah.
No, it's like the first. Like you literally. I mean, it took me a second
to realize.
So and I saw it, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. Like I was like, press X and then press square. Like it's not working. I was like, oh, whatever. And I kept playing. And then I finally was like, hold up, I'm gonna figure this out. And I was like, oh, here we go. So yeah. But the second thing is a minor thing, but like it adds to it. So like, me and Jacob play a lot of like PvE co-op games together.
Wildlands.
Yeah, like Ghost Recon Wildlands, stuff like that. And in that game, like you play, it's almost like you play as the same character. Mm-hmm. So like when you go in a cutscene, like they're talking to you. But not, you know what I'm saying? It's like we're playing the same character. But in this game, like if I engage a conversation, it's me talking. But if he engages it, then I'm standing here and he's talking.
I like that a lot.
I get to hear his character.
I hope Breakpoint does that and then changes that in Wildlands. That if we do get some cutscenes, all of us are in there. All of us are talking. We're not just standing in the back, just chilling there. I don't think you were ever shown.
No, it's just your character.
It's just your character.
But you have the ability to play with 4 other squad mates. But it's like. Anytime it's like important,
cutscene is just you on your screen,
it's just your character, and you don't like it's and you know what I'm saying. So it's like we're playing as the same character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of like, and I hate talking about this game, but it's kind of like Anthem, where I hate this game, where in the cutscenes it would show all of you, but you would be flipped because like if you were looking at it, you'd be the one talking your cutscene, but see all of us, and if I'm watching it on my screen, it's me talking, but I see all of you. But I want it to be like interactive. How Borderlands 3 is.
Yeah, in Borderlands.
But
So,
like
I
Breakpoint,
start
if
the
4 of
mission.
us are playing, I want 4 conversations going on with this lady. One of us may be the rational one of us may be the asshole, but I want all of us to be engaged.
Because I was like, again, I was up with myself like looting real quick, and then he like starts to talking to one of the like Lilith, I think her name is, and then I heard his character start talking, and I was like
he's nowhere here. He's nowhere near me.
It's really interesting because normally like, in a game like that, like he would press square to talk, and then like my character would start talking. Well, I'm like way over here
Well, yeah, like,
looting trash cans.
Well, no, I mean it's like it's 100% co-op. Like if he's talking to her, then his character is going to say it. Now, I don't know how this one is, but in the pre-sequel, which is actually that was originally Borderlands, the third Borderlands, but
they made it a third one, but it was in between.
Pre-sequel in the sense of
Borderlands,
Mhm.
Borderlands 2,
Yep.
In the
Borderlands 3 was the pre-sequel.
It was in the middle of 1
Feel
and 2,
me?
right? So it was a sequel, but it was a prequel.
It was a prequel.
You're blowing my mind right now. You're blowing my mind. So Borderlands 3, it takes place before.
No. Listen.
no.
Borderlands 3 is actually the 4th game. Actually,
Amazing.
5th if you want to count the Telltale games. But this is
In the regular game.
So what
was
is the third one?
the third one is
pre-sequel.
Borderlands the
Okay.
sequel.
I thought you said it's Borderlands 3, the pre-sequel, and I was
Nah,
wait a
nah,
minute.
He's like, look, I'm looking at this loading screen. It does not say
Wait. What's going on here?
No, but it's
Yeah, the pre-sequel was the third installment made in the franchise, and it was in between 1 and 2.
Okay,
and then
that's
3 is after.
Where does the so
3 is?
did you play the Telltale?
no.
No. Okay.
I played halfway through the Telltale games. Halfway through it.
Did it give you an indication of where it is? It by self story or?
I think even,
Oh,
even
no,
the
the
recap that I had, the Telltale game takes place
Before 3.
Handsome Jack had just died, so
It takes place after
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 because
Borderlands
Handsome Jack
2.
comes back in the Telltale game.
he does.
Yeah, he tries to like upload his consciousness into your little AI
Oh, that
thing.
made it.
Yep.
That was one of the side missions
Yeah.
What?
on Borderlands 2.
Oh, really?
So I guess like
Oh,
that
one of
character,
the DLCs,
the character you're
okay.
playing out as is that character.
The one who
I believe that's correct. That is that character, and that you go through that scene in the Telltale games of what happened in the Borderlands 2, or somewhere between where he tries to upload his consciousness. He tries to do it 3 or 4 times. So whichever scene it may be, it was just how it goes.
Actually, I think
That's some major Batman Beyond. like
do
Return of the
it
Joker
in
vibes.
Borderlands 2 and in the pre-sequel because I think he's there with you when you do it in the pre-sequel.
Huh.
But the reason I bring up the pre-sequel is because I know that was the first game where they actually introduced like where you talk, like your character actually talks, and I know
I
that
hate games that your character doesn't speak.
Well, like Destiny 2, that drove you crazy. Destiny 2, he can't stand it.
really.
That
He can't
drives me
stand
up
it.
the wall,
You know what drives me crazy though? Talking about this, since this man is hardcore about Borderlands 3, and I get it's 2 different like game aesthetics, like how it looks. But if he was to sit down and play Destiny 2 and start like the new DLCs, when they broke away from Activision and it's just Bungie doing it, it's so much better to the point where he would actually like it. It's a looter shooter. This man would be customizing himself every 5 minutes, and we would not be on a fucking mission for an hour. Like shaders, changing your colors, stuff like that. Like,
Oh,
believe
is
me,
that what you're doing?
Dude, I got a bobblehead mask, and I was like, hell yeah, dude. And I'm like running around with a bobblehead on, dude.
But he didn't tell me that happened, so I'm going down and I'm buying guns. So I'm like, all right, I got a gun, I'm coming back, blah, 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 blah. And I walk up to him and I'm like, why the fuck is his head so big? And I get there and it's like a whole different face. And I was like, what the fuck where'd you get that at? He was like, it's in your inventory. And I was like, how do you know what's in my inventory? And
I found one of the trinkets that you could like put that little like have you ever played Rainbow Six Siege? Well, you can get charms. It's just a little like a
Little thing.
They
Like,
little
hang
keychain
inside your
thing
gun.
that
That's
you
what the
put on your
trinkets
gun.
are.
I was like, this is so cool.
I love that. I have
Yeah.
no idea why, but it's just like, ooh, I got a little skull dude just.
Yeah, he's just like
Hanging on my gun.
I'm just hanging on my gun when I'm walking around. It's just like,
I hope there's are there animated charms? You know how cool that would be? Like it'd be an animated charm. Like you're talking about a skeleton running, but like if it's an actual skeleton and it's animated, like every time you move,
Or
the
things that
skeleton,
glow or anything
skeleton
like
would
that.
just like run.
I think
animated would be dope.
I think they would. If anything, I think that would be like later on.
Like later on.
Like they got so much shit. Like with how many guns they have.
Dude,
it's
you know what blows my mind is like, okay, so I want to be correct when I say this, but this game goes to different planets, correct?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't even left the first planet, and we're having so much fun with it. And I was
y'all
like,
are still on Pandora,
dude.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, that's news to me. We left the planet. I didn't know.
Dustin told let me just go ahead and tell you the difference of levels of wants of this game. I guess granted y'all did only play for like one day, but like
I mean we played for 3 hours, 2.5, something like that.
See, I'm already like level 22.
God damn. When he started talking about like this dude is gotta be ahead of us. And I'm like, every time he says something about this game, I'm like, alright, he's like level 8. We're like 7. Something like, alright, he's level 8. And then he goes higher, and I'm like, dude, this dude's like, he's almost done with the damn game.
Dude, no. You don't understand. Like, this month where I'm like, hey, man, like, you should try out this game. Hey, this new game is free on PlayStation Plus. And he's just like, I can't. He's like, I can't get into a big game before Borderlands comes out. I can't. He's like, I can't occupy myself before Borderlands comes out.
I know when this came out, anything else would have been a waste of money.
Rage 2. Not shitting on that game. It was fun, but like...
But there's a reason why it came out like 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah. Dude, I love this game so much, and all I want to do is drag him back into Destiny just to see if he likes it a little bit more. But like, I don't want to push it on him, but like, it being a looter shooter, I think he'll get over the fact that his character doesn't speak.
Mm-hmm.
This man's gonna find shaders, and he's gonna be like, it's gonna be like the best game ever to him. He's gonna find shaders. He's like, oh, dude, I look like a goddamn watermelon.
Pointless customization.
I'm not gonna lie.
I look like a bowl of ramen noodles.
I'm not gonna lie. Anthem was a shit game. Okay, that game. Like, I'm so glad that I did not pay money for that game. That game was ass.
You're welcome.
Okay,
it was hyped up so
Dude.
much. It looked fantastic.
Oh my god, yeah.
I'm sorry to jump in, but
yeah,
that
it
game.
did.
It was like a year and a half before it actually came out. You're like, good God, this is going to be the best game ever. And then it's like a couple months before, a couple people start playing, and you're like, wait a minute, this looks like a major letdown. And then you get it, and you're like, fuck, this is a major letdown. That's literally the stage. All that prep time with the fantastic graphics and everything, you're like, awesome.
I will say, though, I think the character concept of the Storm was like, so fucking good. If it was in a different game, that's all I would play as.
dude, the flying
the storm was so.
Like, I played for 5 minutes, and I'm like, oh, I can fly. This is cool, so cool. I've never played a game where I should fly.
We were all flying. He's running around.
I think
He's
that's what got
he's like,
everyone's attention.
how are you flying? We're like, bro, if you double tap, blah blah blah, you can fly. And he's like, he flies. He's like, what the fuck? This is the best game. I can fly. He's like, I'm fucking Superman.
And then I literally got on my phone and I was like, Gundam, and I was like, I'm making myself just like a Gundam.
He was like yellow, blue, orange, white, and he was like, I'm fucking Gundam. Look at me. And I was like, I see you. He's like, no, Jacob, I'm fucking Gundam.
And then you start playing the game and you're like,
And you get to the story and you're like,
this game is big ass.
I thought we were in the tutorial area. Like, I was like, maybe when we leave the fort, maybe when we go to a different planet or something, maybe it'll get better. That was a whole goddamn game. Yeah, we didn't even finish the game, and I was like, bro, you do realize we only have 2 missions left? And he's like, nah, I'm definitely not fucking finishing it. Because we played it for, I think, like 8 hours or something like that total, and then like we were almost done with the game. And I'm like, I get it's like a Destiny game. It's like an in-game type thing. You do raids and all that kind of bullshit.
Time defense, but that game's stupid. But point being said,
but it was ass.
I am the guy that's like, oh, Fallout 4 is coming out? Okay, well, I'm going to get this, and I'm going to spend literally 2 hours making my perfect character.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't...
In Fallout 76, you spent like 2 hours, made it, and then it looked like ass, and you went back for another 2 hours?
Dude, when Red Dead 2 came out, and we did the online,
God,
I made like 4 characters.
Man, I just...
He got it right, loaded into my game. His looked good. I was like, dude, you look like an idiot. And he's like, fuck. And he goes back again. 4 times this goes on. He's like, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm just keeping it.
I was like, I gotta look good, and then like you get in the game, and you start walking around your character. And I'm like,
it looks way different.
What does it matter? What does it matter how your character looks?
To him, he's gotta look badass, man. Aesthetic to Dustin is insane.
No,
Skyrim must have been the vein of it.
But yeah, man. I mean, Borderlands 3 is. I'm only like 4 hours in, if that, and it's
I really don't think it's even 3.
It's so fun. It's so fun. I still don't like. So
We just need to get fucking level
What-
22
like,
here
what
to
is-
jump in with us and carry us through it all.
Like,
Get it
what
fucking
is
done.
Pandora? Like, why are we searching for vaults?
I mean,
Like,
okay.
Does it have like an in-depth back, like a story to it, or is it just like, hey, this is this world and this is what we're doing?
That you're on Pandora. There's there was a Borderlands, so that's what you do. You go and you basically you're a vault hunter.
And this is supposed to be in a different universe, other than our or different
Well, I mean,
solar system than ours.
I mean,
Right?
I guess.
Yeah,
Well,
it's just
the thing
That was
it,
my question.
it looks post-apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic.
There you go.
There you go.
So it's like, do we know like what happened? Like, why is this world in ruins?
the best way I could explain it is the weapons manufacturers, because the weapons manufacturers are actually like
Because I mean,
governments. Okay, like Handsome Jack.
They put the monsters in the vault for a reason, I guess, right?
I mean, you don't know. It could have just
That shit could have been way back in
that
the day.
actually is part of, and this is going to be throwing you guys off, but that's actually what the race of Iridians did. They're the ones who made the keys, locked everything up, and I don't know. So what did they put the monsters in the vault? We don't know. Like, that's not. It's just kind of one of those things where it's just like, oh, okay, whatever.
This is one of the times where I'm like I rarely have this moment, and Dustin can vouch for me. But like in Wildlands, when we played that game, we played it for like maybe we had probably about 8 hours in, and we just kind of looked at it. We're like, we're 100% completing this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is how this goes. And this is one of those games where I'm like, I really want to 100% complete this game.
Okay.
I'm like, just because I want to get so much out of it that like it makes me want to play it all the damn time.
I am not gonna lie. What is your definition of 100%?
Platinum trophy.
Me and Jacob played Borderlands. I mean,
Why are you gonna bring this up? Then you're gonna make my heart hurt
we
again.
played Ghost
Oh
Recon
my God.
Wildlands, and we played it on extreme difficulty. We completed every single mission, every side mission, and collected every single collectible. And did that in every single DLC. I have the platinum trophy for it. He does not.
We go to get on one day, and I shit you not, we had just got done fighting, or no, we were fighting the last boss. We were going into the cathedral at the very end, and we made sure we got
Spoilers.
everything else.
Spoilers.
It's like a 5-year-old game. 4-year-old,
Spoilers.
something like that. We go to the cathedral, we got everything else, because we even looked it up. All right, if we're gonna get the alternate ending, we want to see both of them at the same time. So we go get everything. I'm talking about everything. Every little fucking note.
I'm talking
everything.
there's like
we
no,
get
there's
there.
mails, there's like 50
Dude,
of them.
We get in there. I go to do it. I get kicked out of their party, right? Which doesn't matter. Once that happens, it just shows me, and they change to the team, right? It just shows me
The
team.
generic like AI,
The generic AI team.
soldiers that you can control.
This happens, and I'm like, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. Whatever I do in their world is finished in mine. That's what I love about that game. So I'm like, all right, cool. This is okay. As long as I get to see the cutscene, I watch every bit of it. I even get the alternate ending because you get everything 100% completed. They go, hey, my trophy popped up. And I was like, okay. Chris goes, hey, I got my platinum trophy. Me too. I'm like, waiting. I go back in. I load back into their game, and I still haven't got it. We continue to play for like 3 more hours. They're about to get off. I'm like, well, if y'all are gonna get off, I'm gonna just save it, close the application, come back into it, and whatever. I closed the application, saved it. Like, it's an auto save game, so I just closed the application, and I'm like, all right, I'll just go to bed if it's not there. I'll figure out what I need to do. I go back into it the next day. I have no save progress. I don't know what happened. You can ask this man. When I tell you I cussed out so many people at Ubisoft and so many people at PlayStation, I was on the phone for 5 hours straight. Him bitching at me because he wanted to play video games. I was on the phone for 5 hours bitching them out. And you know the only thing they told me to do? Well, if you buy external drive, like a 2 terabyte or something like that, your save data should be on there. I said, I fucking have one. And he's like, well, sir, I don't know what to tell you. And I was like, I'm fit to tell you. I'm going to tell you right now, find my shit. I don't care if you got to tell me or tell the system that I fucking did it.
We literally
find out what it was, and we spent fucking like 8 months playing this game on fucking Extreme.
Yeah.
And
So
I didn't get platinum trophy.
Extreme mode was like, you get in there and it's like, you get shot like 4 times, you're dead.
You can't see any red people on the map, like no red dots.
Yeah, there's no mini map. Like, the
mini map's there, but there's no red like blur where the enemies are going to be at.
Yeah,
there's
right,
no
right,
red
right.
dots
Yeah.
when they light up. You can ping one
with the binoculars.
with the binoculars, and it would
or
show
whatever,
up. but you'd have to do
It's
that.
like war simulation.
Bro.
So it took a long time to...
Yeah, other than the fact that game
be on
cheats
the-
and see you through the fucking wall.
We'd be on the route and be like, hey, we're going to stop. Because it was like, in that game, you're ghost operatives and you're hunted down the cartel in a country called Bolivia, which is a real place. And like the map is the country of.
Did you just tell us that Bolivia is a real place?
Okay, listen. I've never heard of Bolivia before I played Ghost
This is a
Recon
true
Wildlands.
You uncultured
This is a true story.
swine.
This is a true story. We go to play it. We load it up for the first time. We play the whole beta, the whole 4-day weekend beta. Fine. 2 weeks later, we buy the game. We all sit down, download it, play it. For some reason, the server's not working. I can't play. He can't play. And Chris can't play. So we're like, all right, we're just going to look up and see what all we can do in this game. And he was like, all right, well, let's look about the weapons. Like, do you have to upgrade weapons? Can you find weapons? Let's see how that is. So we're sitting on our phones just talking to them in the party, trying to figure out what like going on with the game when the servers are going to be back up. This man goes, holy shit, Bolivia is a real company, or a real fucking country. And I was like, yeah. And he's like,
How am I,
I didn't
supposed to
know
know
that. And I'm like, okay.
Did no one else catch the fact that he said a place called Bolivia?
A place called Bolivia.
It's like, oh, wow, I need to
I
come
think
up
that
with
is
some
a country.
location.
Listen, okay, Gotham City ain't real, and there's Batman games. So like, come on, okay. Anyway, back to what I was saying. It's like the country of Bolivia. That's a real place. And it's like the different. I don't know. It's not America, but I guess states. Whatever. It's like that was how they broke it up in quadrants, and we would go like quadrant to quadrant. Like we're gonna
we'd
get
each
every
have their
single
own-
collectible,
their own bad guy
and then
in
get
that
the boss
quadrant.
in that. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm talking like we'd be like, all right, we gotta go to like this part of the map. We gotta get this document. That's literally like you walk up to it, press square, pick it up, and we would die like 3 times doing that.
Just picking something up, they would see you.
Like it'd be like a little camp you go in there with like 6 people.
There's a place at the top left of the map in Wildlands called the Salt Flats. It is literally salt flats. It is straight flat ground.
Real place.
real place. Salt Flats. We get there. There's one fucking like legend is what they're called. A little piece of paper that you got to pick up, or a computer or something, and a little piece of paper on the map. It's there. It's in the middle of Salt Flats. We're thinking it's got to be a hut or a house or something, or on a truck or something out there. We fly there in helicopter, drop down. Nothing around us. Nothing. We go to pick it up. The moment I pick it up, I get fucking heads like blown off by a fucking sniper. Nothing, and you're on extreme, so it doesn't tell you where it came from. It just gives you a little red indicator, like you got shot from this way. I'm like, it was to my right. When you die, your character goes and falls over a different way, so you don't know which way to call it out. They're hiding behind the helicopter. Dustin's like, Chris, you go on that side, I'll get on this side. If you shoot you, that means I'm safe over here. Like, you know what I mean? And like, okay, good tactic. Can somebody get me up? Well, in that game, they have a drone that you can fly. Click R3, and it heals everybody and revives them immediately. He revives me. Bam, sniped again. Chris revives me. Bam, sniped again. When I tell you that I wanted to stand up, flip my fucking chair, and break my controller, I was getting so mad. They were just literally, the sniper was focused on me. And then all of a sudden, here come 3 helicopters. Here come 2 more helicopters on the other side. Here comes 4 or 5 RVs with fucking turrets.
Yeah, because
it's
got like a GTA factor that
when you get shot, more people show up.
Yeah, it's like when they figure out like where you guys are. There's like a threat level, and then they got like it's choppers.
Both of
SUVs
them
start rolling up.
Both of them, after all this shit goes down, we all wipe. We all die. We all go back. We all die. We all go back. All because they got the fucking legend. But when I picked it up, last, the sniper decided, I'm gonna fucking pop this guy. And I never got it. I would fly in parachute, land, go to pick it up, get halfway through like the hold square animation, sniped. It came down to a point where I had to be in the helicopter. They had to fly me almost a mile away in the game, a kilometer in the game, to shoot this guy out of a tower, to fly me back over a kilometer to pick up the fucking legend and go back. And that was a 4 skull out of 5 rating place. And we went through people shooting us through fucking stainless steel walls and fucking buildings and shit, and would just annihilate us.
So that answers your question about how 100% complete. And we need to come up with a chart because I love that game. I talk about it, but if we talk about the subjects of video games, Jacob will bring up Ghost Recon Wildlands.
I love that game.
In some fashion.
The story
when
was
you come with a
so...
chart that's like
The story
a tally
was so
mark
good.
Yep, Jacob did it again.
Talk about it again.
Talk about Wildlands. Mark 29.
I like modern military shooters where it doesn't go too futuristic. And that's what I love about it.
That's what I like Borderlands.
And I don't like World War II games. Like, I'm a big history fanatic, and I like World War II, and I like to talk about it, and I have the debates with you and shit like that. But when it comes down to like shooters, I want to play modern times.
What are you gonna do?
Like Battlefield 4.
What are you gonna do?
I think that's where Call of Duty screwed up when they went to
World War II.
Time. Time out, coach. What are you gonna debate about World War II?
I mean, I didn't mean to say debate, but like
you said, I'll debate about it.
History. I like
that's
history.
History, my guy.
No, you're wrong.
Hitler or did.
All right, this is going to this.
But
I like is in South America.
This is the podcast
history. What I meant to say
conspiracy
was
theories.
what I meant to say was I like history. I will talk to you about it all day. So when it comes down to it, I like the modern shooters. I don't like the old types like World War II shooters. I don't like futuristic ones. And for that to be in the fucking era that I like, and the game to have such a really good story that wrote me in, I loved it. Like when Breakpoint comes out, I'm playing the fucking game. I'm playing it 100% completed. 32. He is right though. I compare it to a lot of games, and that probably needs to stop, but probably not for a while. But I really like that game.
You need a rating chart.
Hey.
So, but yeah,
Well,
I mean,
Go.
Back to the original point of you guys wanting to try to complete Borderlands. Just so you know that it has sort of like side objectives, like shoot 100 people with.
I've been getting those little like it pops up like you killed
like objectives.
100.
Oh, hey, you did this objective. And I was like, didn't know that was an objective. But
No, I'm just saying it's like it's so. Are you guys going to include that into 100%?
If there's a trophy on there that says, hey, you need to do all these.
I don't know. I mean, so I've 100% completed every single of the Batman Arkham games, but that's a different level. It's like I know I can physically, or if I want to cheat, I can Google like where the hell is this stupid Riddler trophy in this room. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to have to
farm enemies like it's Destiny.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We might.
But I mean, the objectives don't seem that bad. But to me, it seems like when it tells you, "Hey, you killed 15 skags, awesome, good job." In my mind, I'm like, "All right, well, next is gonna be fucking 30, and next is gonna be 50, just in that one objective.
Does
it's
it
gonna
give
be
you
100. This is gonna be 6,000." You're like, okay.
I looked on there. Does it give you like anything for doing those objectives? Like cash or?
Okay, see, I think this is going to be implemented in like once you beat the game because. It first started with badass points, badass ranks, where you got like, you get badass ranks, you get tokens, and you use them for a little boost, like, ooh, quicker reload, more health, yada, yada, yada. But they seem to be taking that away, but they have this thing called Guardian rank, or Guardian level, something like that you can't access until after you beat the game.
So, Destiny. So like how they have the levels. Once you get past a certain level, you have a light rating. So you didn't play Destiny. No. Okay. So they have like a light rating, but yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it's just like, that's one of the reasons why they have the challenges in there and to continue to make you do them because I don't know if they have a level cap in this game, but they did. You could do them up to like 5 levels. Like you kill 10 people. Now then it's 20, then 50, now 100, now 500.
Okay. But there is an end game in this though. Like after you complete the story, there's going to be like a. Do you know that yet? Like an end game type deal where you can still play the game and have fun with it and do like certain missions pop up every now and then.
No. In this game is all about replaying the campaign because it's always been normal mode. Once you beat normal mode, you go into true Vault Hunter mode. And then you go into Ultimate Vault Hunter mode.
I hate how he smiled when he said that.
Because because Ultimate is unforgiving. But I liked it. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm having a blast with it so far. I definitely highly recommend it if you've never played a Borderlands game before. Like if you see the trailer and like, oh, it's kind of fun, I don't have anything to play. Like I'd say 100% go for it.
Go for it.
I would actually recommend getting Borderlands 2, the Handsome Collection, just because you have all the DLC and everything for it.
And they just remastered it for PS4, right?
Is that 1 and 2?
Well, it's they just remastered the first one.
The first one.
Yeah, Borderlands just regular one. The Handsome Collection is about just Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel.
You know what's a great thing about the graphic style too?
What?
Is that it's not a Grand Theft Auto 2. You know what I'm saying? Where they remaster it and it still is kind of shitty, but it's like less shitty.
Mm-hmm.
These games are cartoonized, so it's like if you're like a heavy like I only play games that have good graphics. I can't stand playing a game with shitty graphics.
You can still go back and play the old game.
It's a cartoon, dude.
Yeah.
Like cartoons have not changed. Like
oh, it looks more defined, bigger lines.
Yeah,
or
right?
dot
So-
lines.
is the Handsome Collection 1 and 2 with
No.
all DLCs?
No, it is only 2
With all DLCs.
2 with all DLCs, which they came out with like at least 4 campaigns, 4 Headhunters packs, which is like, raid bosses and shit. And they may have actually another campaign.
Okay.
So is there going to be raid bosses in this one too? In the third one?
I would assume so, but for the most part, they don't come out with those until like after like the DLC.
I gotcha. Okay. Are the other games co-op as well?
Yeah, they're all co-op.
Two's co-op. So.
Oh, and like that's always been a thing, especially the couch co-op.
Oh yeah.
That did say the option when I first started it.
Yeah, I was like
it said you can
nobody
do split
does
screen.
this. Like nobody does this anymore, and I was like, this really makes me happy. Even though I'm probably never going to use it, but I was like, it really makes me happy that it does it.
Let me go ahead and tell you, you don't understand. There's been so many times where I'm playing. Oh, I can't fucking. Hey, babe, come here.
Yeah.
Pick up this controller. Heal me when I die. That is your only job. If I go down, heal me. And
I mean, if you got kids and they're bored.
Hey man,
Hey,
shoot that thing!
You can even
Here's 2
censor
controllers.
the gore
Yeah,
on
here's 2
that.
controllers.
I saw that in the
Go
setting,
out
yeah.
here and shoot shit. Boom. Hours of fun. Was there vehicles in the other games?
Mm-hmm. But
There
this
was.
one,
More in depth.
yeah, because each game you've only had like 2 types of vehicles. This one you get three different types, as well as you can customize them. Because I know one of them, like on some of you can get more armor and it like maybe a little bit slower, but more durable, and
Okay.
cool. Can customize the paint and all that, and yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I think we're gonna wrap this one up.
Thank you for joining our first podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Thanks for
kind
listening.
of it's first time doing it.
If you made it through the ending, you're still here. You're a fucking legend.
Yeah, if you made it this far, I don't know what you're doing with your life today, but
You're just like, where is the Borderlands 3? Y'all talking about all these damn games.
he keeps bringing up this.
What did I keep? What's happened when I clicked on
Check.
it?
So,
Like that. Damn.
alrighty, guys. Well, you can find us on YouTube and Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be back next week.
All right.